Did you know Bonanza wasn't made to entertain? It was a marketing stunt by RCA to sell color TVs. What's even crazier is that one bold decision saved the show from being canceled forever. Want to know what it was? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Number 1 Bonanza was actually a marketing stunt to sell RCA color TVs. What if we told you Bonanza wasn't just a hit western, but a clever marketing move designed to sell TVs? In the late 1950s, RCA, which owned NBC, faced a problem. They had poured money into developing color televisions, but most households still only owned black and white sets. To fix that, RCA needed a way to make color TV irresistible, and they had an idea: create a show that fully embraced the technology. That's how Bonanza became the first show entirely filmed in color, showcasing vibrant landscapes and costumes that practically sold color TVs themselves. It was a risky gamble since few viewers could even watch it as intended, but soon brighter screens became must-haves in American homes. Bonanza wasn't just good entertainment, it was proof that the future of TV was in living color, and RCA's bet, a massive success. What happened behind the scenes only gets stranger. Number 2, Dan Blocker's boots were nailed to the floor to keep him still on camera. Why would a TV crew nail an actor's boots to the floor? For Dan Blocker, who played the lovable giant Hoss Cartwright, it was all about keeping him in one spot. At 6'4" and weighing roughly 300 pounds, Blocker's size wasn't just impressive, it sometimes made filming a challenge. He had a natural energy and tendency to shift on his feet during scenes, which drove the production team crazy during close-ups. The solution? They nailed the bottoms of his boots directly to the floorboards so he couldn't unintentionally wander out of the camera frame. It sounds extreme, but it worked. This odd trick became a standard method for keeping Hoss and the shot in perfect place. Number 3, Pernell Roberts' Adam Cartwright walked away from the show at its peak. Why would Pernell Roberts, who played Adam Cartwright, walk away from one of TV's biggest hits? As the eldest Cartwright son, Adam was calm, intelligent, and a steady presence on Bonanza. But for Roberts, the role quickly grew frustrating. He saw the character as one-dimensional and believed the show relied too heavily on predictable, formulaic plots. Roberts wasn't shy about voicing his opinions either, famously calling the scripts junk in interviews. Number 4, Michael Landon quietly took control, writing and directing episodes. While most saw Michael Landon as Little Joe, few realized he was taking on a much larger role behind the scenes. As the series progressed, Landon began writing scripts and eventually directing episodes, quietly shaping the creative direction of Bonanza. It was a bold move for someone still seen as just an actor by many in the industry, but Landon's ambition couldn't be ignored. These experiences prepared him for even greater success later, most notably as the force behind Little House on the Prairie. Number 5, the show tackled racism in a bold 1964 episode and faced backlash. In 1964, Bonanza stepped into uncharted territory with an episode titled Enter Thomas Bowers. At its center was an African-American opera singer, a character who confronted the harsh realities of racial prejudice in the 1860s. Choosing to address an urgent social issue like racism made it a huge departure for a show known more for family dynamics and sweeping landscapes. The move wasn't without backlash. Some viewers and even network executives were uneasy about the subject matter. For the era, discussing race so directly on primetime TV was considered risky and controversial. Number 6, the iconic opening scene with the burning map nearly burned the cast. The opening credits of Bonanza, showcasing the iconic burning map of the Ponderosa, nearly turned into a disaster for the cast and crew. To create the sequence, the production team relied on live pyrotechnics, igniting the map's surface to give the illusion of it being consumed by flames. During one take, a miscalculation with the flames caused them to surge out of control, coming dangerously close to some of the cast members. Quick action from the crew prevented anyone from being harmed, but it was a tense moment that highlighted just how unpredictable using live effects could be. Number 7, a Bonanza rerun helped the FBI catch a fugitive seen as an extra. One rerun of Bonanza turned into something straight out of a crime thriller. During the 1960s, a man on the FBI's most wanted list had been evading authorities for months, but his luck ran out when an eagle-eyed viewer tuned in for a rerun of Bonanza and noticed something strange. In a crowd scene among the extras, the viewer saw a familiar face, the fugitive they'd seen on wanted posters. The tip immediately reached the FBI, and agents got to work. Thanks to the show's massive popularity, the man's minor appearance didn't stay unnoticed. Eventually, the fugitive was tracked down and arrested. Number 8, NBC built a real-life Ponderosa ranch that became a huge tourist attraction. What if you could step into the world of Bonanza? For decades, fans could do just that. NBC built a real-life Ponderosa ranch near Lake Tahoe in Incline Village, Nevada, turning the show's fictional world into a full-fledged tourist destination. The ranch was designed to immerse visitors in the Cartwright family's adventures, complete with replicas of iconic sets like the family home and the streets of Virginia City. Visitors didn't just walk through sets, they got up close with props, costumes, and memorabilia used in Bonanza, making the experience feel personal. Number 9. The Cartwrights wore the same outfits to reuse stock footage and save money. Ever wonder why the Cartwrights always wore the same outfits? It wasn't a fashion statement, it was a clever cost-saving measure. Behind the scenes, the show's tight budget pushed producers to standardize costumes. By having the Cartwright family stick to their signature looks, Bonanza made it possible to reuse previously filmed footage seamlessly. This strategy was especially useful for action shots and sweeping ranch scenes. Say a moment of Ben Cartwright riding his horse was captured in season 1. It could easily pop up again in later episodes without anyone noticing. These reusable clips helped the show save time and money, which was critical for early television production. Number 10. Lorne Greene's toupee had its own contract and special handling rules. Lorne Greene's hairpiece wasn't just part of his costume, it practically had its own status on set. As the patriarch Ben Cartwright, Greene's dignified look was central to his role, and that included his perfectly styled toupee. Nicknamed the Gray Rat by Michael Landon and Dan Blocker, the toupee became the subject of playful teasing behind the scenes. But Greene took its maintenance seriously, to the point where it was reportedly protected by its own contract detailing how it should be handled and stored. Number 11. Bonanza was nearly canceled after season 1 due to bad ratings. It's hard to believe, but Bonanza was almost canceled before it became a household name. When it premiered in 1959, it struggled to capture an audience. Competing shows dominated its time slot, and the series barely registered with viewers. For a production as expensive as Bonanza, low ratings were a major red flag. By the end of its first season, NBC seriously considered pulling the plug. Bonanza ran for 14 seasons and 431 episodes, making it one of the most enduring shows in American television history. It gave audiences a window into family, morality, and adventure, all set against the stunning backdrop of the Ponderosa. But its influence didn't stop when the cameras turned off. Even today, the show airs in syndication, introducing new generations to the Cartwright family's world. It's a reminder that some stories stand the test of time for reasons we might not expect, which other classics hold untold secrets. Don't forget to share your thoughts and maybe uncover more hidden TV history of your own.